Welcome to your must-have weekly podcast town hall listening needs. This is Morgs here at the town hall, part of Gaming Ground Podcast Network. As I said, I am your lovely host, Morgs, and as always, I am stuck with my fellow compatriots, brothers in arms, bros, the dudes, and anything else I can possibly think of. Guzzy, mindless, waxy, and truly yours, the derp.
Solid.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up?
Nothing good.
Jeez. Nice and active today. I like it. Beautiful day in the podcast neighborhood.
Hashtag Town Hall Tuesday.
Town Hall Tuesday. I know, at least in the beginning of this podcast, Derp and Guzzy aren't going to say a lot, which is perfectly fine. Not that they're doing anything important, but I wanted to open up just with Fortnite. And I know those two cannot say anything about Fortnite unless it sucks. I hate it. I don't want to play it.
I'm just being a realist, all right?
Maybe you should try out the new chapter.
I did enjoy it
Maybe you should uninstall
until
game.
season 4.
Then you would
Or
like the
5.
new season. You would like the new season.
I don't have any interest in playing. It's just a build-off game now.
But
man.
you should just try it. Trust me.
All right, so
Just give it a try.
we're gonna get into this right now. So Fortnite now has its chapter 2, whatever the fuck they want to call it, to make themselves happy. It's got a bunch of new stuff, new maps, new guns, new characters. I guess a new storyline and a brand new season. Now that it's been out for a little bit, and I know Waxy and Mindless both play it. Tell me, just give me your first impressions on it. Like, how have you guys felt about it?
All right, so where you go, Andrew? Go ahead, Andrew.
It feels like you're playing Fortnite again and not like whatever they turned it into. And it's really refreshing to actually play a game that you enjoyed back in the day. It's just really refreshing. It's a lot of fun.
It's pretty much the WoW classic of what.
Honestly, yeah.
So they
It's a
pretty
really good way to
much
put it.
got rid of, like, there was way too many weapons in the game. They, like, kind of, would you say they, like, simplified it, Andrew, in a way?
Yeah, they just really dumbed it down, made it super simple, but like has everything that you need, not a lot of extra bullcrap that you don't need.
Yeah, so there's like one of the new things they added is like upgrading your weapon, like the rarity of it. So if you have like a gray SMG, you could trade in materials to get like a green one, and you could go up till like gold, which I thought that was like a good new mechanic that they added to the game for like another way to use your materials. What'd you think of that, Andrew?
The upgrading, it's a lot better than the vending
upgrading.
machines. The vending machines were just a waste of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, they took out the vending machines. They're gone. They like were useless unless you found like a gold one anyway, which was very rare. They added the fishing. So the fishing, you could, if you have a fishing rod, you could get like weapons out of these like fishing spots. You could get like healing fish. You can get like slurp fish that gives you shields. It's just like new healing items that they add to the game, pretty much, with like a unique way of like obtaining them.
So, do you have to find the fishing pole, or do you just start with it?
It's like a gray item. I know there's like some houses are like fishing houses, I guess, and they have like a bucket with like poles in them. So they're not hard to find.
Okay, and the map's different, right? It's a new map.
Yeah, completely new map.
Massive.
The map is very good. They add there's a few spots from the old map, but they're like redone in a way. But yeah, the new map, it just feels better because the season 10 map was way too cluttered and it was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
So I guess I'm going to go out on the record, and I'm just going to say I respect Fortnite, but I think it went downhill pretty quickly at one point after like season 5 when everybody started to kind of go meh about it, but like they started changing a lot of stuff. I still respect it, but I don't think, like, I think now again, like, it is just like a building game essentially from what I really have my first impression on now. I mean, I was debating on playing it the other night because a friend wanted me to, and I was like, I might give it a shot, but I also don't really think like I have any interest in it anymore.
I definitely think you should give it a shot. Like, you don't have to get back into it, but just I'm curious to see someone who really enjoyed like season 3 and 4 what they would think about coming back now.
It's very similar to the old seasons.
Yeah.
Which is what I've heard, but it's also like, do I really want to put up with this build fest again? And like, can't you use mouse and keyboard now on console?
Yeah, you can, but you wouldn't play on your PC?
No.
I'd
definitely be on my PS4.
Another thing that you might like about it is they have skill-based matchmaking now. So you would get in with players more of your skill level. So the game might actually be a little more enjoyable for you.
Right. I mean, I didn't mind the competition. It was just more or less like that stupid building stuff. I know that plays a little bit into the skill, but it was literally, hey, who can build the skyscraper the fastest? The fun part was destroying the skyscraper.
I mean,
but like,
I disagree with that though, because you can let people build all they want, and if you're smarter than them and you know what you're doing, you'll kill them every time if they're above you. It has nothing to do with who can build the fastest. It has to do with who can outplay the other player, which is every video game ever. So, I kind of disagree with you on that.
I disagree on you with that one, Miles. If you see any pro player, they build the shit out of everything. Two pro players against each other. Whoever can build better wins. Period.
That's not at all true.
Yeah, but it's also who has a better shot too. It's definitely not
two
all.
pro players, so they have the
nothing to do
same
with
shooting skills. Two pro players. I'm
Okay.
saying same shooting skills. Whoever builds better wins.
I don't
Not
think
at
so.
all.
I think whoever builds smarter wins.
Yeah, it's whoever builds smarter, not better.
And,
People
like,
build up because they try to keep the high ground. And
I didn't
other
say
stuff
higher.
above.
Whoever builds better. Smarter is another word for
and you have to know when to take your shots when you're building too.
Yeah, it's not just who can build the
building.
quickest and the
Yeah.
fastest. There's a lot to it.
But
hurting right
this is a story that I'll never change between you guys, which is perfectly fine. But I felt like it deserved at least the talking about because we are a gaming podcast, and the reason why we have these town halls is because we are people that have different views on different games and how we feel about playing them or not playing them. So I respect it. I thank you guys for filling me in on that.
Let me quickly say this.
Oh, he's
about
not done.
Fortnite to wrap it up. Did Fortnite do well in keeping everybody's interest? Yes. You look at PUBG and it died pretty quick. You look at H1Z1, it died pretty quick compared to Fortnite. The fact that Fortnite was able to listen to a community and do what the community wants 9 times out of 10 says something about this company that's developed Fortnite. That's
I'm going to piggyback off of that. Whatever they learn from their community, they destroy, and they have to patch it in 2 seconds.
That too.
But
But
they
they're at least listening
That's
to their
guaranteed
community
true.
and taking input and caring about their community rather than not updating it.
That's true. I will give Fortnite that. They do listen to their community. They're very good with that. I'm devil's advocate for Fortnite, obviously. I don't like it, but I'm downside Debbie, I guess to say. But yeah.
All right. And, I'm sure there's going to be more of these fights for as long as Fortnite keeps updating and all that stuff. So be prepared for those in the future. But changing the tune on that just a little bit. I know in our first podcast, we talked about the new Call of Duty because some of us were playing the beta. Now that it's had some time to sink in and everything, and you guys could kind of process stuff, how do we feel about it now?
I think I need to play it again to give like a really good opinion on it. I'm definitely gonna play it when it comes out. What does it come out like?
Friday.
Well, when this comes out, it'll probably be out already, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I really have to play it again to get another opinion because it was a beta. It wasn't polished. There wasn't a lot of maps. So,
But it was fun.
It was fun. It's also been 3 weeks since I played it, so I don't completely remember it. But I am looking forward to it coming out, and I hope that they polish it up a little bit because parts of it felt a little laggy to me. Not like terrible, but it's also a beta, so I expect those things.
Without going too far in depth, because Naylor and I did touch upon this in our Hitbox episode. My highlight of Call of Duty is I think it has the potential to be kind of what Call of Duty has been while keeping the modern feel of video games. I also would like to see Call of Duty balance out the guns a bit more. I think there was 2 or 3 guns that literally everybody used, and the other guns were kind of iffy.
That's every COD, though.
To an extent. I mean, you look at Modern Warfare 2, I feel like majority of the guns were actually pretty balanced.
That's true.
But then this one, it's like, all right, well, you use this AR and you use that AR, or you use this sniper, and that's it. Like I didn't really
I don't know,
explore the
'cause I saw
submachine guns
everyone
because the damage was
using-
like bleh.
Everyone in that game used the M4 and like the MP5, and I didn't use either of those ever. So I don't know. I think they're really well balanced. It's just there wasn't many guns in the beta for people to actually try to use.
I also just don't think the beta had like, a meta yet.
That's
So like once COD comes out and people start figuring out like what's good, like
What attachments to use, because there's a
Yeah,
billion
like-
of them.
like what attachments to use, what guns to use, like what, perks to use. It's pretty
Yeah,
much
that's
everyone's going to be
very
using
true.
the same exact thing.
Right, and COD needs to kind of get away from the Battlefield and Siege feel of let me customize guns in game.
Highly disagree. I think that needs to stay.
No, that's
No,
not
I
COD.
think it needs to
That's
go.
not COD.
I think it needs to go too.
I'm totally
like
fine
it.
with it. Who is it hurting though?
Everyone that wants a COD, and not
How?
just because you instead of having the COD feel of you think about what you could face off. Because I know I had multiple M4 or whatever gun I was using, Scar M4 or whatever. I had multiple sets of that in case I was versing this, or this, and then I would switch according to what I was doing in game, rather than in game switching my attachments up. Because that's just not COD. That's Battlefield.
I don't know. I've been playing COD since COD 4 came out, and I don't have a problem with that at all. Who cares?
But it's not
Doesn't hurt
COD.
anyone.
Yeah, I don't.
Who cares? Everyone's
think it's
tired of
good.
COD. Why would they make COD again? Everyone wants something new.
Because everybody
Wow.
wants COD. If
Yeah,
they're
but
gonna
then when
release
they
a
do
COD, then
give
they want a COD.
People complain about having too much COD.
I
So
think
they
the
try to change
reason
it up,
for
and
this
people
whole
complain
Modern
about
Warfare
that,
reboot
so,
though is because people wanted Modern Warfare 2. Like everybody was saying, let's get a remastered of that game.
Okay, and
That's why
did
they
that with
remastered
COD
Modern
4,
Warfare.
failed
Right,
horribly.
right. But they also realized that Modern Warfare 2 is probably the superior, like the definition of Call of Duty when you think about it. Now it's a different
I
generation.
disagree. I would say
but
most
it's-
people would say COD 4.
Either
And
way, it's still
it's still those two CODs were the exact same gameplay of what a lot of the COD players kind of wanted with this new Modern Warfare, from my feel.
agreed.
I don't know. In my opinion, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt anyone. I mean,
Well, another thing, going off of COD. I mean, obviously we're on COD, but going off of like the subject that we're talking about. When we were trying to play from PC to console, it was very buggy trying to get into the same.
yeah, but I think that has a lot to do with the beta
Same
too,
part.
because they've never
Yeah,
done it before. So
yeah.
I'm really hoping they'll fix that in the full
Yeah.
release.
I agree. That was my thoughts. It was probably
Really
just a beta,
hoping.
but fingers crossed it wasn't like an actual like weird coding that they did. Hopefully it was just a
Yeah.
beta. So
All right, that's something we'll have to see about, because who knows?
exactly. I'm hopeful
COD
to
can
see
be
like,
pretty
what
rough on release.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely sharpen that up. There's no way
But
they don't.
there's so much cross-plat these days that like surely they can figure it out, right?
You'd hope so, right?
I guess we'll see.
True.
Yeah, we'll find out in a couple days.
I guess we will see, because it seems like we're all going to get it to give ourselves a judgment, which is, I guess, good because we run a gaming podcast network. So, no, I'm excited for that. And I think a lot of what you guys said is very true. So, it's gonna take time to, for us to decide how we feel about it, but also it's going to be the time for it to prove whether it was just beta blues or if it really had some issues that need to be fixed even more rapidly. So we will see in due time. Another interesting game that I know is coming out soon is the new Star Wars game.
Isn't that an MMO?
No, they have an MMO.
I thought they were making a new MMO.
Oh, I don't know about that. They might have. I haven't heard anything, but I also haven't been looking. I used to play the old MMO.
Yeah, I'm probably completely wrong.
I was a top level on that on the vanilla version of it before all the expansions, and I loved it. The game was really fun. I loved the story aspect of it, and then all of a sudden they started like cutting corners and making like your story like everybody had the same story, and
They
they
kind
would
of
just.
just wanted to stop developing it.
I guess I don't know if it was stop developing it or they just didn't want to take the time or it got too expensive to like make like if you were an inquisitor, which is what I was, like when you went through your story, you had the inquisitor choices and it was your story ended up becoming much more or felt much more unique. But then when the expansions came out, it was one story that no matter what character you were, you went through that part of like it was that story. So it kind of lost me on that. I felt like if I had to do that part where it was just me playing the same story as everybody else, I might as well just go back to WoW.
Yeah, true.
And that was tough. But this one's a single player one. I've always loved single player Star Wars games. Of course, the new ones were a little tough. And Battlefield was, everybody saw that problem with the microtransactions and
Oh,
how
that was bad.
EA was screwing you over. It was like
That was real bad.
somebody did the math, and to do it without paying for microtransactions, you would have had to play like 600 and something hours to get all the stuff, and like 90% of the game apparently was stuck behind some kind of paywall or a long time grind. So that was horrible. But I just read that EA announced that this version of it there will be no microtransactions, which is good because it's definitely a single player game.
Maybe they
And
finally learned their lesson.
yeah, and I saw a lot of the like early release reviews, and they're really good. But I mean, you can't trust these early game reviews. There's
That's
a
true.
reason. There's a reason why some of these people got the reviews early, and it was because they're going to write a favorable one. Um, so that's a little tough. But I always loved like Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and Knights of the Old Republic 2, Jedi Academy, like the classic, really good Star Wars single player games. So I'm really hoping that this is really good, and it's set in a time where you can't have force powers. Like they killed you if you had force powers. So this will be very interesting to see where it goes from that and how the story develops. So I'm excited to play it. I don't know how you guys feel about any of the Star Wars games, or if you've played
Never
any.
played them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
or
never played any of them. What was it? The most recent one I just saw there was like a bunch of stuff about like the paywalls and like everyone was super disappointed with it and they had to like redo the entire game or something like that. I didn't get too much into it, but I heard it was like something along those lines.
That was a while ago. You're thinking, right?
Yeah, but was that not the most recent one? Did one
That's
come out
the most
before
recent
that?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really got into the game, so that's the last I heard of it.
Yeah. I mean, do you enjoy like Star Wars? Like, do you like the movies and stuff? Or
I have never seen a Star Wars movie.
I have tried to watch them. I think they're terrible.
My God, my heart.
Yeah,
I don't think they're good. I just think they're so boring.
I'm definitely not a Star Wars fan. I never got into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
tried.
fun. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, it's not for everybody. I mean,
That's
look,
true.
I'm not here to say you're wrong because it's.
I'm
But
not here
I
to
mean,
say you're wrong, but like you're wrong.
But like, it's a multi-billion dollar industry. So I mean, obviously, a lot of people like it. So maybe you're just wrong. But like, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Maybe a billion people are wrong.
Nah, I don't think that's how that works. But I mean, hey, what do I know?
Could
I'm
be.
no expert. I'm no expert. No lawyer, no sociologist, just a guy with a dream, But yeah, so I do like Star Wars. I do like the movies. The new ones have been slightly heartbreaking. I can't wait for this trilogy to
Are they
end.
good?
The new ones?
Yeah.
They're all right. I mean, it was really good because you kind of saw like all the old characters. The OG ones are good, but they can be tough to watch because it takes a lot of world building to make as fantastic as a like universe that it is. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. The like prequels, so like the new 1, 2, and 3. The first one, it's like if you like Star Wars, if you want the action and the adventure part of it more than the whole like world building, it's a good one. You get introduced to like Darth Maul, and he's a fucking badass. He's the one with the double sword, the double saber. So that was like a really cool concept in it. And Liam Neeson's in it, and he's the fucking man. So
He is indeed a man.
and of course, you kind of see the beginnings of like Anakin Skywalker as he turns into Darth Vader in those 3 movies. The second movie is really
Spoilers.
good.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that movie's been out. Look, the spoiler alert thing goes out the window on anything that's 10 years or older. Like, if you miss that window, you're donezo, bro.
What if I was just waiting for it to ripen?
It's past ripening.
Yeah, it's
It's
well
getting
beyond
moldy
that.
at this point.
Starting to decay a little bit.
Right.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's pretty bad. But yeah, but like the newer ones, I guess, I don't know, with the new CGs and stuff like that, it's really cool. Like the stuff that they can pull off on a big screen is really interesting.
It is
but
impressive.
I don't know, the story just hasn't gripped me. Like there's a lot of in the old ones, like there was missing pieces and like plot holes, and you were like, but together the story played out really well. This one, they did a lot of build up in like the first movie, and then it seemed like everything changed. Like their idea changed, and the second movie came out with these new ideas, and there was a lot of like the first movie where you're like, but you led up with all this stuff, and now you got nothing. Like you just pretended like it didn't happen. So that part I don't like. But yeah, so movies, okay. I'm a big Star Wars guy, so I enjoy them. I always like the Old Republic, and I think they said the new movies are gonna be based on the Old Republic. So like the Jedi Civil Wars and Revan and Malik, which would be fantastic. I would love that. That's like my truly favorite part of the universe, which would be really cool. Which is set like thousands of years before this whole Star Wars thing. So I hope it goes that way. The game, really hyped for. Really looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to play it, so I'll probably be the one that reviews it, which will be cool. And yeah, kind of lost my train of thought there because I'm trying to hold off a cough. Oh, there it is. But yeah, so when it comes to that, and then a little off topic to like gaming, but also in the same vein of gaming, streaming. I know we all stream like Netflix, Xbox, or Netflix and Xbox. Jesus Christ, Netflix, Hulu, but a lot of these companies, I would say all the major gaming companies and major companies are pushing their way into like a streaming platform. Google has their new console coming out, and it's literally just a streaming console. So it's like you plug it in, you connect to the internet, and the game, whatever game you want to play, you don't have to download it or anything. You just click on it, and it brings you right into the game, and you can play it. And you're just streaming from one of their like mega servers. Um, Personally, I think it's a giant leap in the gaming world, and eventually it's going to get there. But I think this is going to be just a sad failure. But it's going to be one of those ones where the world learns a lot about what it needs to do to make a good service like this. I don't know if you guys know anything about this.
Wait, can you repeat that? Like you stream your game?
Yeah, so there's already games. I think Borderlands is even a part of this. So I think it's Borderlands 3, Destiny, a lot of independent developers and stuff are already on it, like confirmed games for this. Don't quote me on the Borderlands one, but I know 100% like Destiny and a few other games are. So all it is like a box, a tiny little box, kind of like an Amazon Fire Stick or something like that you just plug into like your computer or a TV, or I think you can even get an app and stream stuff directly onto like your phone or your iPad.
I think this is going to fail horribly.
And it comes with a paddle, or sorry, a controller.
A paddle?
Yeah, I call them paddles. I don't understand. I have always done it. And it comes with a controller, and you can just play them. Like, you're like, oh, I want to play Destiny. And you just jump on, click on Destiny, and you just play it. I don't know if they're a part of like you have to pay like a monthly thing for the streaming service, or if you have to pay for the games, or both. I don't know. Not 100% sure. Didn't do as much research as I probably should have now that I'm thinking about it. But so yeah, what it does is it connects. So like all the games and all the networking and all that stuff is on one mega server that Google has. And I guess there's a few of them around the world, and you connect to whatever one's closer. But you just connect to it, and you're pretty much playing the game on a supercomputer that's like miles and miles and miles and miles from you, but all that happens right in front of you on whatever screen.
My school has something very similar to that, and it is the most laggy, annoying thing of all
Yeah.
time. We'll
I was-
see how this goes.
I
So
was
there
gonna
was
say,
yeah, go ahead, Derp.
I was gonna just say real quick. The first thing that comes to mind is server lag. I mean, you kind of touched on
Oh
it.
my god.
Mindless. Yeah.
Playing multiplayer? Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they'll do it. They'll optimize it for multiplayer if they're going to do something like that.
Yeah,
but
but
so it won't be as
like
bad. But they're no matter what they do, if they're going to do a streaming service like that, where you're not even on site in your house or whatever apartment, etc., you're going to a server off your area and going to a server like that. There's going to be server lag. Period. No matter what you do, however optimized you want to get, there's going to be server lag, regardless, which is very interesting to see how they will kind of combat that. And another thing is, I know Steam has something similar to that. It's not going offsite to a server, but if you have like your computer upstairs, let's say, and you have all your games, and downstairs you have like the little box that you buy for streaming services. I forget what it's called. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But it's similar to that, where it'll reach to your PC upstairs and you stream it onto your, let's say you have a 70-inch or whatever TV downstairs that you want to play on. It'll kind of bring it down there and stream off of that, which is kind of, I guess, in a way, it's just kind of a higher or a larger scale what Disney's trying to do with that. It'll be very interesting to see how they pull that off, though. I'm kind of anticipating that.
So there
Yeah.
was, I'm trying to find it right now. There was something that came out that was a little like this a couple years ago, and I remember looking into it. And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." It was like $500, and it was a game controller that had like a screen attached to it, and it was simply streaming the game to that platform. And you could play League of Legends off of this game controller. And I was like, "That's terrible because it's just going to lag the whole time." And then, like reading reviews and whatnot and seeing gameplay, it actually was lagging. There's also other types of services out there that are, like you're saying, a supercomputer linked up with Google. It's all in the cloud, where I was on a Mac and I was trying to get Windows games. I was like, well, there's got to be an alternative without getting Windows to try and get it on my computer. The alternative was signing up for this membership to some cloud-based Windows computer and running Windows off my computer through the cloud. And I was just like, that's like, it's interesting. But then when you actually do it, it was extremely laggy and nothing was actually working. So like Google's going to probably be able to pull it off better than anybody given their resources, but I just, like what we're all saying, is just going to be super laggy, and in the end it's really not going to be worth it.
Yeah, so that's where I'm getting at, just for that part of it. I know that Google has such a great infrastructure or anything, but there is a cost of entry for it. I think the recommended like megabits per second they said was like 10 minimum to play the stuff, and ideally it was like 30, which for a lot of us isn't a big deal. But there's a lot of places in this country that still have to use dial up because there's no cable, you know? So it's definitely going to be a cost of entry for a lot of people that want to have this opportunity, which is, bittersweet for it. But I do think it's going to be, at the end of the day, something that happens in the gaming world. I just think that Google, with its unlimited funds and opportunity, is going to take this, and it's not going to work the way it's supposed to, but they're going to learn a lot about like streaming games and cloud gaming, and that's going to really pave the way for what eventually is probably going to be the norm when it comes to it, which, I guess we'll have to wait and see, because maybe Google is going to surprise everybody. But I definitely think the lag's going to be a problem with it. And I don't know, just the input and everything like that. It's just seems very, I don't know, different. But most people are afraid of different things. So I'm just going to wait and see. I'm not going to buy it. I was tempted to pre-order it just to see what would happen, but I'm just going to sit and wait it out. And I'm going to go to the pub. I'm going to have a pint. And I'm going to wait for this to all blow over. And we're going to see where it goes from there.
Hell yeah! Cheers.
And then when it comes to streaming, I know that Disney has their streaming platform coming, not gaming related, at least as far as I've been told and found out. But they're gonna have all the Disney movies, all the Disney shows. I mean, God, they own everything now. All the Marvel stuff, the Fox stuff. So they're gonna have a wide range of stuff for a ton of different audiences. And I know that right now is the last year that South Park is on Hulu exclusively, and there's a lot of people fighting for the exclusive rights for that, Disney included. And right now, I think the current bid is $500 million.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Jesus.
So we'll see who grabs that and who holds on to that. But I mean, are you guys gonna grab the Disney streaming service?
My sister is, so I get it for free.
There you go. Even better.
I mean, what'd they say? How much did you say it was?
It was $8.99 a month.
$8.99. I mean, that's a pretty
and you get
price for what you get.
And they're putting almost everything that they own on it, so it includes like Fox Video and everything like that, because they own a lot more
of stuff.
Yeah, they own a lot more than just like the Disney aspect of it. So a lot of people think it's just a Disney related one. And right now, because you got to remember, they're majority owners of Hulu too, and they own ESPN. So they're running a bundle now where you could get Hulu with commercials, ESPN Plus, and the Disney streaming service for, I think it was $12 a month. So
that's a hell of a deal.
So that's a really good deal.
Well, wait. Do you have Spotify?
I think it comes with Spotify too, because they own. Because I think they're partnered with Spotify. Yeah,
I know Spotify has
a deal.
I know Spotify has a deal with Hulu, where you were saying it's Hulu free with the ads. So if you have Hulu or Spotify, then Hulu comes with it. But
yeah, so
it's all of them packaged.
Yeah.
So that's what you can listen to on Spotify.
What? Our podcast, right?
Network.
That's right. We're official, man. I love it. Yeah, it's so great. Yeah, we're on all the major streaming services, right? I mean, that's beautiful.
Correct.
Not Pornhub.
Well,
streaming services, man. Come on now.
Yeah. So I mean, they're adding a lot of like new content as well. Like they're adding a lot of TV shows for Marvel. Like the Falcons and like from all the Marvel movies, like he has his own show. The Black Widow has her like a prequel show. There was like Scarlet Witch and stuff. So like that, the comic book side of it in Marvel, they have their own little thing, and it's all in the same universe, which is cool. And then they're putting out a lot of Star Wars stuff. I know the one that I can't wait for is The Mandalorian, which is about the bounty hunters of the Star Wars thing. So it's not really based on the Force, and all that kind of stuff. It's based on the bounty hunters, which is really incredible. So to be able to see that side of it, it's literally going to be just a shooter, just TV show, where it's just people dying left and right and a whole story, and which would be really interesting. And then if it's anything like the Old Republic, the Mandalorians were like a group that opposed the Republic, for you guys that don't know about this, and they were literally like a kill or be killed race, and the head of their group was called the Mandalorian, and he was like the one that deemed all respect, almost at the level of like being near godly. So it'd be cool to see if they're kind of wrapping that into it as well. So I mean, they have the money to produce all these shows, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. So I didn't know, if anybody else was going to be getting it, or if you're like, nah, I'm going to stick with Netflix and Hulu. Because to be honest with you, I'm kind of starting to fall more flat on Netflix, to the point where I don't think it's worth like
I really don't care for Netflix.
Yeah, like right now, it's not worth the $17 that I'm paying for it.
I feel like Netflix was kind of like the stepping stone to everyone. It was like that Netflix blew up, and everybody was so excited for it, and then it kind of just like slowly trickled down and kind of fell to what it is now. which, like you guys were saying, it's not really hype anymore. It's just kind of, all right, it's Netflix, like, kind of shrug it off kind of deal.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll see. I'm excited to see where it goes. Of course, it's also only $8.99 for just that by itself. So if it sucks, I'm really no harm, no foul, and I just ski daddle off of it.
If it sucks, just let it go.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Huh.
And then of course, like Apple's coming out with their own streaming service, but the couple shows that I saw that they're coming out with don't seem that interesting, at least not yet. They've been doing the whole like hide everything about the show, kind of just give you a little bit to bite on and hope that you're interested. So I don't know if that's a good sign because the show's interesting or a bad sign because they don't even think the show's that interesting. But I'll wait on the Apple one. Apple takes enough money out of my life already. I don't need them to.
Yeah, for real.
But like, what do you guys think about like Hulu? Like, do you like the exclusive shows that they make or that Netflix makes?
I don't even know Hulu made exclusive shows. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
They do. Obviously,
I watch Hulu every night too.
Yeah, I watch like Dexter, How I Met Your Mother.
That's a good one.
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny's good.
Yeah,
You are throwing out prime shows right now.
Yeah,
all of them are amazing.
Like great shows. And then occasionally when I'm feeling interested, I do get stuck watching a couple animes that I like. Not a huge anime guy, and they have to be dubbed. They can't be subbed. Like I hate how it sounds to me, so I can't watch. And it's nothing against the language; it just doesn't work for me. And so I wait for them to get dubbed, and I watch it. So like My Hero Academia, like I watch that, and
I've heard that show's incredible.
Oh my god, dude! Even if I didn't like anime, I would like this show just how good it's like made. It's fantastic.
Love anime. It's a good show.
Yeah, but like in college, my roommate loved anime, so he had dude, it was on all the time. So like a couple of them
on Hulu.
Yeah, they come both. Some are like dub only until release, and some are dub or sub. But yeah, definitely if you're gonna watch it, like My Hero is a really good one. It hits on a lot of like a lot of good aspects of like just everything. It's not like kiddie or anything like that, which is great. It's very more like adult centric. What's another really good one? I like Soul Eater. Soul Eater is like if you're just trying to get into it and you don't want anything like too like over the top or crazy. That's a really good one with a fun cast.
Soul Eater's amazing. It was one of the first ones I watched. Yeah.
And if you like the fucking like dark, like if you want some like dark and like fucked up, like interesting crime kind of like show, then you gotta watch Death Note.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Death Note is fantastic. I've seen Death Note.
Yeah, Death Note is
fantastic.
One of the most fantastic ones. Yeah, it's definitely recommend that one. So I can go on and on. There's like a few that I fucking love all the time. But yeah, it's always, when it comes to that, first of all, a lot of people don't give it its fair shot because, you think it's like a loser thing to watch. At least that's what the stigma is. But, it's all about finding the one that you're going to enjoy. Because there's so many different types and kinds. And I know people that like strictly watch the ones that are Japanese. I just can't do it. Like, just can't
do it either.
Like,
I watched Bleach for a very long time.
Yeah, like I can't watch Naruto. Like I have so many people like that watch it and they love it, and all I can think about is idiots running. So that kind of like ruined it for me. But like I know that the show at its base is good, but like I can't get that out of my head. Like I remember
with Dragon Ball Z. Like I just can't watch it.
Morgs, we're about to fight.
Why you like Naruto?
That and you called it Naruto, not Naruto.
Yeah, see, so I haven't watched it. So I don't know.
About to fight right here.
But yeah, I don't want to I want to fight Derp. Derp, you scared me, so I'm sorry for that. But yeah, like Dragon Ball Z, I don't know. It was funny because like Dragon Ball Z in my school, nobody watched it except for like this like group of just 20 like black kids that sat at a table and all they did was do it. So I didn't know what that show was about. I literally thought it was like kind of like made for that like that group, and then I watched like a few episodes and I was like, oh my god, like what is this show? And then everybody told me like, dude, if you don't watch the like cut version of it, there's a ton of like filler episodes, and that can get boring. So I don't know. I don't know the concept of it besides like find the Dragon Balls and Goku will kill you. And Vegeta always seemed like the badass that got the shit end of the stick. That's if I had to describe anything about Dragon Ball Z, and I could be absolutely wrong.
I mean, like in a short, compact, little twisted version, yeah.
Okay.
You got it spot on, I guess.
Yeah, perfect. Dude, that's so funny. All right, yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, I definitely recommend. I mean, you saw Death Note. I definitely would watch My Hero. So good, awesome show. And I'm trying to, and then like Soul Eater, if you just want to like chill out and not have something that's like deep and really gonna hit you, because that one's like a fun, good one, and it's got like an interesting topic. But that we got off topic there for a little bit, but that's okay. I think we can wrap it up here. Is there anything else anybody wants to say before we wrap this week's town hall up?
I got nothing.
Shout out to Sword Art Online is a great anime. First season only though, but
Speaking of that, Miles, didn't you play that game?
Which one?
Sword Art Online?
Negative. That's Fantasy Star Online. That you're thinking of.
Fantasy Star Online. Okay.
close.
All right.
Close.
Yeah, I almost had it.
That's the online part.
Yeah. All right. I'll take it. But all right. I want to shout out to Waxy because he was a great participant in the back end of this. I respect him talking all his Fortnite stuff in the beginning, so that was great. And this is where I just give it off to Kai Guy and Guzzy fills us in on the usual follow us ons. So take it away, Guzzy.
Hi. YouTube, Facebook, Gaming Grounds Network, Twitter, Gaming Grounds, and definitely follow me, Guzzy GGN. That's right. Derp and I got Hitbox coming out, and
Yes, sir.
Morgs. We definitely have the industry update coming out as well with a couple interviews heading up.
Yeah.
One an esports collegiate player, and the other one actually a professional gamer. So that's gonna be pretty legit. So
yeah, that's gonna
stay
be really
tuned
cool.
for that.
I can't wait to interview him. It's just getting making sure our schedules match up because we busy, they busy, we all busy, and I think everybody gets it. But you're in for a real treat. That'll definitely be coming up. At least one of those will be coming up within the upcoming week from when this comes out. So
right, and I know Derp is interested in that too because one of them's our gaming friend, the other one's one of our fraternity brothers. So it's pretty cool.
That'll be really cool to see. I'm kind of excited for that to come
So
out.
that's gonna be a fun three-way podcast, and then the interviewee as well.
Yeah. So people, we got good shit coming. It's gonna be on the lookout. Waxy and Mindless gotta put out a podcast eventually. Fingers crossed, and for everybody here at the town hall and our podcast network, the Gaming Grounds or Gaming Grounds Podcast Network, whatever you want to call it. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you #Town Hall Tuesday.